lady! As old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nothing about you screams anything about any knowledge you could possibly have about the hot flames of young passion. Only thing you know is the hot flame of your breath. Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are back with more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So last time we did have some technical difficulties with the camera. I apologize for that. What happened was, I think in setting up all my software to work again after my computer crapped out on me, I did not select the correct settings for me to have my camera properly be used in editing software. I think that was the problem. I looked it up and that was what everybody was telling me. We are back in the thick of things. We are starting the new Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney game. This is the first time I've ever seen my face in this game, in the Trials and Tribulations game. So for anybody who's new, welcome. For anybody who's not, let's go ahead and dive into the recap real quick. So for those who don't know already, in the last episode we did finally see what the opening case was going to be, and that was our tutorial case with Phoenix as the defendant here, being accused of murder of his classmate. His classmate pulled him around the corner, started talking to him crazy about the girl that he's dating. Phoenix didn't like that, so he shoved him as a true alpha male would. I'm just kidding. I do not take that alpha male stuff seriously. He pushed him into the ground, and unfortunately he died somehow. We know Phoenix didn't do it, right? Because he's here today, you know, and at least as far as Justice for All in the, you know, present Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games. So we got to figure out what's going on with that, and we did uncover that there's actually some additional clues that could lead us to having some ulterior or different case attached to this. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, right? So ladies and gentlemen, if you are ready, as I am, let's go ahead and dive into part 2 of Trials and Tribulations. Let's get it. Holy yap, I just realized I talked a whole lot for that intro. Did I save it? Did I save it? Okay, I did, I think. We're good. I'm not gonna lie, I got so afraid. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness. This next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand. Okay, now we get to see the kind of person she is. Instantly I'm already knowing. Okay, yep, here it is. The flare, the butterflies and everything. Is it necessary? What's with the stiff silence? In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit that you radiate a glow of complete sincerity. Everyone but Phoenix, I guess. I can't believe he actually said that. This guy is sweating. Oh, now then, witness, could you please state your full name? What were you thinking? Don't worry, sweetie, there's no need to be nervous. Yeah, I think his hair kind of says it all on what he's thinking. If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size. With what? You have no... Buddy, I promise you, if you even try to swing those spaghetti noodle arms, even the judge could check you. Stop it. And I will bash them with my gavel. And don't even get me started on you, bro. I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You all are so nice. I almost feel right at home. Not at all. It was nothing. If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. It's always the literature nerds. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor is all mine. She probably drew herself up a script. No, the honor is all mine. Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. She did not just think that mentally. I love it. Sir? Is there something I can help you with? You must go on and say whatever is on your mind. I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Feeny wouldn't kill anyone. Oh, brother! Feeny? No. Yes, I can see why you'd say that. She's gonna be a tough witness, all right. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger. All right, Mia, we gotta see through this facade. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you so please. I do beg you to do so. I please. Like, Judge is so, like, as Mia said, caught up in the milkshake. I had been planning to go back to Feeney's place after class was over. For what? Feeney and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. Okay, that automatically doesn't line up with what Phoenix just told me. That's when Feeney noticed that I was there. I went to go and he didn't even mention seeing you there, did he? I went to go and find some other students and they called the authorities. Ah, nah, this is baloney with a capital B. I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong.
Young lady! As old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn.
Nothing about you screams anything about any knowledge you could possibly have about the hot flames of young passion. Only thing you know is the hot flame of your breath. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please, tell us the truth. But I would never. That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this bullshit to continue. What do you mean by that? Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies and unregulated estrogen levels escalating in my courtroom!
You haven't changed a bit.
Mia Fey, you know her?
What's this? So you two are acquainted?
Yes, we've met before. Once. Okay, was this about the murder case? Was this about the murder case? Okay, the tea is teeing. The tea is teeing. In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours.
It's good to see you again, Madam Fey.
Madam? I'm no one's grandma yet, girly. Okay, things just got another layer of weird. Okay, let's dive into this.
I had been planning to go back to Feeney's place after class was over. Feeney and Dougie.
Okay, wait. We're supposed to be pressing. Uh-oh. Let's say she caught me around her finger. Press her instantaneously. Now, unless I'm mistaken, Feeney, I mean, Mr. Wright, is in the art department. If that's the case, then what were you doing by the pharmacology building?
Well, I'm in the literature department. I'm studying Japanese Senryu poetry.
Oh, brother. Oh, wonderful. Isn't that humorous yet? Satirical style of haiku, yes? Look at him getting all hard. Let me stop.
Nothing left to do. When a man reaches this age, sleep is his best friend.
That's supposed to be poetry? Sounds more like a midlife crisis.
For me to get to the art department, I have to walk through the back area.
Ah, yes, I see. That makes sense. When I went to enter the courthouse, I always walked through the front doors. How else would you enter? Teleportation, instant transmission? Feeney and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Let's talk about it. So who is this Dougie person? Oh, I'm sorry. Doug Swallow. That is a better name. We were dating until about 8 months ago. So what were Dougie, Mr. Swallow and Mr. Wright talking about anyway?
How can you be so mean?
What did I do?
I would never eavesdrop.
I
wasn't raised to be so rude and unrefined.
That's right, Miss Fey. Don't drag the witness down to your level. Why am I being demonized here? Please go on. What do you see next? Or what did you see next? Then suddenly Dougie collapsed. Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own?
Yes.
In other words, the defendant never touched the victim. Is that right?
I was watching the whole time. Feeney never did a thing to Dougie.
If I press her for no good reason, I just know the judge will get angry with me. So what should I do about her testimony just now? Wait, wasn't she just saying... She was just talking about how Phoenix didn't... Okay, whatever. Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we?
What? I would never...
Miss Fey, I will not allow you to badger this witness. On account of what, brother? Being in heat? I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition.
That is, she has no supporting... But please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job.
No, you're not. Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did in fact push the victim. What? There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you just came out and told the whole truth. Ya hussy? There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw. Yes, Your Honor. I will, if you don't mind. I'd like to revise my testimony. Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. You didn't, huh? You didn't see it? Well, I saw the moment when Dougie fell to the ground. And at that time, there were only 2 of them at the scene. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Doug Swallow. Yes, that's right. It didn't look like they were fighting. I didn't hear anything unusual either. So then, what did it look like they were doing to you? I thought, it's stupid. I thought they were having a nice, friendly conversation. Oh, give me a break! That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge. Oh, I like the sound of that, Mr. Judge. Does this guy get any respect at home? Because he is always fishing for it in the courtroom. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. I went to go and find some other students, and they called the authorities. When you say students, do you mean students from the pharmacology department? Yes, they're all very fond of their drugs. What? Please try to stay on topic. So find some pharmacology students. You went to the labs, correct? That's what I was planning to do, but in the end, I wound up not going. A group of about 10 research students came running out of the building entrance. Somehow, they all seemed to know what was going on. The students knew what was going on. Press for more details on that immediately. But how could the students have known what was going on? Well, I don't know for sure that they knew what had happened. It's just they all seemed kind of like excited about something. It doesn't look like I'm gonna get any more info about the students. So did the students call the police? Yes, I was just so, I was so panicked. Yes, well, anyone would have been, my dear. This judge, man, I can't with him. He's like, that girl, she's telling a super obvious lie and she knows it. She's just pretending to protect Mr. Wright. Yes, that's gotta be it. Way to go, Mia. Okay, that means I'm going to have to dig deep to find the contradiction on this one. Okay, so Doug and they were talking behind the building. So actually, I didn't see the moment. Okay, it didn't look like they were fighting. I didn't hear anything unusual either. Okay, I'm putting on my big lawyer glasses and pants on. How can I possibly piece this together here? It didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear anything unusual either. Are you sure about that? Because something tells me that this newspaper article has nothing to do with this. I don't know why I clicked that. I clicked it again. I'm so sorry. Something tells me that the testimony... Let's go! You say you didn't hear anything unusual, is that correct? Yes, that's why I was very relaxed looking at the scenery around me. That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Mia is such a beast. Can we just stop for a moment and like really appreciate her confidence? There's been moments throughout this entire series where I feel like Phoenix, like, he definitely has his confidence once he's found the contradiction or something. But like, I always feel like Mia doesn't seem like she ever really falters externally. Like, no one can ever actually tell. Bro, she is so well put together. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that? If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well? Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable. But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was like a sharp noise, like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. May I have a moment to answer? By all means. I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on, and I was listening to music at the time. Headphones? You mean that both your ears were covered? The rain was just beginning to let up, but it seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. Now we're getting into mythology. Like, this is the crazy thing. I just don't understand. Like, why are we letting her just continue to, like, go on these side tangents? So the sky continues to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning, huh? Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder, so I put my headphones on to block it out.
Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there aren't any contradictions in her testimony after all.
Wait a sec, Mia. That testimony just now. She said something that could totally change this whole case. There was lightning. She was listening to music. Could it be that she didn't hear anything because she was talking about how she saw them talking, but she didn't say she heard anything? She was listening to... So I was wondering if it was like she was listening to music. Your Honor, there is a problem with the witness's testimony. What do you mean?
What is this problem?
It's obvious. The problem is that she claims to have been listening to music.
Are you deaf? Did you pay any attention to the testimony? She explained she was listening to music to cover up the sound of thunder.
Miss Fey, I must warn you that I can even be more frightening than Zeus when I'm angry.
Yikes, I'm in trouble now.
Well, the testimony we've just heard seems to be very decisive. The only one that could have killed the victim was the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
No, please. I never meant to incriminate him.
This is bad, Mia. If you don't do something, we're gonna lose this. Think again. What is it about this testimony that doesn't make sense? She said something that could totally change this whole case. Okay, never mind. So I was wrong. There was lightning. Nobody brought up lightning, but it's not like anybody could like... Wait. Was there a cloud in the sky? I don't think there was. Lightning? Maybe we try the lightning route. Your Honor, there's a problem with this testimony. What do you mean? You said it was lightning, correct? Yes, what about it? Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right? Now it's time for a science lesson, Miss Fey. Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, is the problem that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning? I'm sorry, I had to read that so fast because I was really trying to figure out where we're going with that. I must admit that that thought had not occurred to me. What kind of thoughts do occur on the sky, or to the sky anyway? This entire case is built on the premise that Dr. Doug Swallow, or Mr. Doug Swallow, was murdered, but that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was, in fact, the victim of a stray bolt. Okay. It appears the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental? Alright, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking... Huh?
I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Fey.
Huh?
I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on the sky that... Or in the... Wait, what? We found that there were no lightning strikes on that day at that location.
What?
What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case.
Evidence, Mr. Payne. Well, what is this evidence?
This affidavit.
And who was this affidavit from?
The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their lab that day. Allow me to read out to the court the testimony of the pharmacology students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden around 3 p.m. that day.
Was it a blackout?
All of the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor.
So you're saying the equipment lost power because...
Precisely. They lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m.
Which fits the time of the death, listed in the autopsy report.
Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable.
Okay, so then that still proves that Phoenix is innocent.
According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future.
I see. Apparently the cables had... This guy's proving my point. He's proving my point.
Apparently the cables have become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break.
Open and done case? Open and shut case? Hello? He just proved why... However, there's one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped if it had been bumped into, correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Miss Fey, do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable?
Your Honor.
I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum.
I mean, it can't be that hard. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion.
Well, then let's hear it. Who or what is it that caused the cable to break? What caused it? Found clutched, umbrella. I mean, honestly, bro, do I really have to say it? Am I really about to do this right now? I mean, I feel like, okay. All right, so this is Unix talk time, okay? Bring it in there, Ray. Bring it in. Huddle. Okay. So here's my theory, right? So we know that Dahlia Hawthorne and we know that Doug does not swallow, were dating months prior to the incident, correct? So they obviously broke up. Phoenix started dating her not too long ago. She's very shy. She could have ties to another case, but we don't know about that yet. I feel like, ooh, hold on, I have another theory. I feel like, what if this case doesn't get brought up again until the present, like where we are right now in Trials and Tribulations, meaning that like Mia and her had met during this case, and then this had something to do with it maybe, or maybe this has nothing to do with it, but then we pick the case back up in the present. That's fire, but we'll get back to that in a little bit if we don't continue in this case. Now, back to the current case. What if, and I say what if with a big what and a big if, Dahlia has a secret and Doug found out about it, and Doug was trying to help out Phoenix, and Dahlia realized this and cut the cable to kill Doug. Don't call me crazy yet. Listen, let me cook. What if Dahlia Hawthorne is not the darling she's trying to lead us to believe, because she did something heinous and actually caused someone else to die and tried to have that like covered up and hidden from Phoenix, because maybe she doesn't really like Phoenix. Maybe she's using him for some reason. I don't know, bro. We'll see. But that's my theory so far, is that she's the one who did it. Hey, YOLO. This is it. This is why the cable snapped. Okay. 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 What caused the thing to snap? Maybe the umbrella? I mean, umbrella? I really don't know. Okay. I can't figure this out, bro. Bro, I'm so lost. Did I miss something? I can't have. They wouldn't have let me get this far if I'm missing something. Some sort of impact? This isn't an answer though. What? I'm losing my mind. I just clicked it again. I'm actually losing my mind. The umbrella? What? Think back to Mr. Wright's testimony. The defendant's testimony. He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct? Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that the lab equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m., which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline? In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage. So are we gonna like... So Phoenix did do it? Like, what are we doing? Yes, the prosecution also came to that same conclusion, and it was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted. What are we doing, Mia? I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne. What's that supposed to mean? Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electric pole. That's right, the victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed. It was the impact that caused the cable to break. Well, that makes sense, and then the victim was electrocuted. Mia's so swaggy. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable in the foreground here. Okay, so they're saying that because he was shoved back here, then he wouldn't have been hit by the electrical cable. I'm gonna see where they're going with this because I'm lost. In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim, so they came afterwards. So my theory can still hold. I'm just getting confused by the moving pieces. Order in the court. Oh, the lamentations of my enemies, or of my enemy. I've longed to hear them. It's true. The defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could have... Mr. Judge, sir? May I say something? The Madam Attorney's explanation, she said some things that are a little different than I remember them. What the? Okay, so now she want to speak up and talk. Crazy. Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time, please? Mr. Judge? Of course it's all right. Just go ahead and give your new testimony. This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors. Okay, so this is where we're gonna see a big contradiction. All right, bring it on. Bring it on, Miss Primp and Proper. Let's get this. Let's get this. The truth is, Feeney pushed him twice, okay? The first time, it was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him. But Feeney caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted, it all occurred in less than a minute. So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away. And that is when the defendant pushed him for the second time. I'm so sorry, Feeney, but I
I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge?
Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fey, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She's winning them over, fellas. We gotta lock in. The
truth is, Feeney pushed him twice. We gotta press her.
Okay. Miss Hawthorne, previously in your testimony, you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie.
I know, I'm sorry. I wanted to protect Feeney.
So that's why you basically lied to the court?
I was a bad girl. I know. Mr. Judge?
Yes.
Would you please forgive little old me?
Of course he... Oh, come on now. It was just a little old white lie. We'll forget it this time, but please be more careful from now on, alright?
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge.
Not at all. Where is the justice? The judge had better be more careful himself. Our dark alley is friendlier than that girl.
The first time...
Oh, I just unlocked an accomplishment. Y'all can't see it, but the first time I was into... Okay, let's talk about it. You're saying you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole. I know he doesn't look it, but Feeney can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be.
An imp? What does that even mean?
Oh, really?
But I never imagined that he would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeney really is scary when he gets mad.
Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed.
Then Doug tried his best to run away from him.
So let me get this straight. You were happily listening to music on your headphones while you watched the scene unfold.
Miss Fey, I'll have to ask you stop badgering the witness. I wasn't happy. I was so scared I couldn't even move. All I could do was stand there and cheer them on.
Cheer them on? What do you mean by that?
Well, I wished the best for them both and that they would give their fight each, give the fight each or all.
That's very supportive. That's very sweet of you to be so supportive.
And what happened after that? But Feeney caught up and crashed into him from behind.
That doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back of this leather jacket?
Well, no, there weren't. Madam Fey, may I suggest that you listen a little more carefully? I said that he crashed into him from behind, right? My Feeney wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he?
The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted, it all occurred in less than a minute. Okay. Did you actually witness the moment the victim was electrocuted?
I'm sorry, I didn't actually see it. I turned my eyes away. That's understandable.
Well, yes, indeed. It would have been a horrific sight for anyone to behold. If I don't figure out the contradiction here, it's all over. She didn't have much time to come up with her lie, so this is my best chance. There must be a hole in her testimony somewhere. Think, Mia. Alright, lock in. Lock in. So Feeney pushed him twice. First time was in the electrical pole, then that's when the cable broke. So first time was in the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. So the first time the cable broke, then Dougie tried his best to run away from him. But Feeney caught up and crashed into him from behind. Give it a second, Dougie electrocuted. It all occurred in less than a minute. So a victim fell on top of this umbrella. There was a loud sound. That could be when he crashed into the thing. The actual testimony is that the old power cable broke due to some sort of impact at 2:55. I'm curious about this. Let's hold on. Let me move this so y'all can see the health bar. Cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted all occurred in less than a minute. I feel like the testimony. Perfect. Less than a minute's crazy. That's enough witness.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture?
Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeney likes to take for his cold.
It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m. That's 10 minutes after the student's testimony stated. Yes, your point is, Miss Fey. My point is, what time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping?
Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m. Ah!
Would you care to explain to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, what exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow. Ooh, okay, I see how we're cooking now. I see how we're cooking now.
This is nonsense! The real murderer?
Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for.
Then who was it? Who are you saying could have done it?
There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene. There was a window of opportunity for the real killer. Miss Fey, is the defense really ready to indict someone as the real killer? Oh boy, it's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor, we are ready. Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Fey. Oh my gosh. Who was it? Who was the real killer? Oh, we already know who it was. It could have only been you, Dahlia Hawthorne. How can you...
The defense is grasping at straws.
10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? That's true. That's true. That's true. There's so much time that could have passed. Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that. I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you. Ooh, that's so true. Because what were you doing listening to music? Order, Miss Fey. What? I mean, why? That is to say, Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands. Ah! Yep, summon the butterflies. They're the only ones who can help you now. How can you say something so mean, Madam Fey? I didn't do anything. Oh my gosh, bro. Again with this act. No one's falling for it. My boy! Your Honor! Please, I have something I want to say. You, what is it? Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record. Phoenix, what are you doing? Oh, my hard-earned effort. What are you trying to do to me, Phoenix? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Fey. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that. Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man. Guards! Leave my Dolly alone. That boy. He's gotten himself in way over his head. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back. It seems I've arrived just in the nick of time. I hope you went to a doctor's appointment for your hemorrhoid problem, big bro. I found the police report on that incident in your newspaper clipping. Police report on the incident happened 8 months ago. Okay, that was around the time they broke up. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You better take a good look at it. It, details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Huh? How Mia Fey lost her. What? Now that the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, really, Your Honor, May I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't you worry, my dear. I have the situation well in hand. Go right ahead.
Madam Fey, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie? Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright.
I told you that you should let me handle this. Sorry, please go ahead.
How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try to frame him is just ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little me to bear. Oh, I believe that girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be. Oh, we know what your motive would be. The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. Read the police report then. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then, that same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Oh, they're cooking. Yo, Capcom is cooking. They are cooking. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Further testimony? What about? About the events of the day which she first met the defendant, Phoenix Wright.
What could that possibly have to do with this case?
The witness claims that she has no reason to frame the defendant. Am I correct? Well, I have evidence that suggests that she, in fact, has a very good reason. Very well, then. The court grants the defense request. Young lady, would you mind staying on for just a bit longer? Okay, guys, hear me out. Let's stop it for today, or stop it for right now. I'm going to pick this up as soon as I possibly can. I want to get this episode out. Oh, we're about to get into some heat, y'all. We're about to get into some heat. I already know. We're going to dive right back into this soon. For everyone who's watching, I appreciate you. We're going to get back to this as fast as possible. I'm going to post this as fast as I freaking possibly can. And we're gonna get to her little lies. This Poison Ivy lookalike, we're going to get to her lies, brother. In the meantime, in between time, I will see you guys later. Peace.